What's up, MetaNerdz? This video is all about the Quasar Fire-class cruiser, also known as the Imperial Light Carrier and the Alliance Carrier. It was manufactured by SoroSuub Corporation, the Sullustan-based company that gave us the Luxury Yacht 300 and the X-34 Landspeeder that was used by Luke. At a length of 340 meters, or 1,115 feet long, it was about a Y-wing longer than the Arquitens-class light cruiser. At a height of 45 meters, or 148 feet, it was exactly 2 AT-ATs tall, and at 330 meters, or 1,083 feet wide, it was about 7 CR-90 Corvettes across. It came equipped with a Class 2 hyperdrive, the same as the Imperial-class Star Destroyer, but slower than the X-Wing. It also had a backup Class 12 hyperdrive, but the rating of its shield generator is unknown. Its armament was moderate, with 4 light turbo laser turrets, and 2 medium tractor beam projectors. But these turbo lasers were located in surprisingly useful positions, with 2 chin-mounted, accessed by the cockpit, and then one on the ventral side accessed via the hangar bay, and one to protect the rear, accessed by the engineering section. But what it really focused on was its complement of starfighters, which on average would carry 48, but this number could vary greatly, depending on what you wanted to carry. When we saw it used by the Empire, it could carry at least 8 TIE bombers, and an unknown amount of TIE fighters, which both could be stored on these racks overhead in order to maximize the cargo capacity. There was also this secondary area that could be used to store additional cargo and fuel, though the main hangar areas were also used for storage. There's no stats, but I think it's safe to say that several hundred dewbacks could have been transported on this ship. Depending on the mission and its required escort, this ship could be just completely filled with cargo, or it could be used more as an assault ship and just dedicate all of this area to TIE fighters or troops. But don't expect the Quasar Fire to be involved in any kind of blitzkrieg, as its top speed was only 250 km per hour, or 155 miles per hour, making it the slowest ship we've covered so far, at only a fifth of the speed of a TIE fighter, meaning it could barely beat out a minivan from Earth. To keep this ship running, it normally had a crew of 250, but this includes everything from pilots, engineers, and deckhands to move the cargo. As we see, the actual bridge only requires a handful of people. Its Legends history has it originally being given by the Sullustans to the Virgilian Free Alignment to aid in their fight against the Empire. Once Imperial forces had decided to leave the system, the Virgilians donated a fleet of these ships to the Rebel Alliance sometime before the Battle of Endor. The Rebels stored these in different locations across the galaxy, making them dedicated starfighter carriers, where they would be used in coordinated ambushes on Imperial assets, while also being accompanied by their own battle group. The latest we see one in Legends is during the Yuuzhan Vong invasion of the Bilbringi system, where at least one of these ships is still in service. Its canon history has it only operating for the Empire, with the Phoenix Cell of the Rebellion having to hijack one before it was incorporated into the Rebel fleet. By using a stolen TIE bomber, the Rebels were able to gain access to the hangar bay, eliminate the troopers along the way to the bridge, and gain access to the weapon systems to defend itself from the escorting Arquitens-class cruiser and the Sentinel-class shuttle that was approaching with a boarding party. They were able to escape through hyperspace only after detonating a bomber full of fuel canisters right off of the Arquitens' bow. Now under service to the Rebellion, we can see how the TIE fighter racks make for perfect A-wing storage, and the hangars are wide enough for ships as large as the new class shuttle and the Ghost. Later it would be seen during the Battle of Atollon, where it was the primary starfighter carrier, releasing a swarm of Y-wings and A-wings. There are no official stats on these numbers, but I think we can take the length and width of the Ghost, which seems to take up the max amount of space you would want to, while still leaving some space to service and land the Y-wings. And since the Ghost was 44 meters wide by 34 meters long, I think each hangar bay could carry around 6 Y-wings, or 24 total, while there were 6 brackets per hangar, each being able to carry 2 A-wings, giving us a total of 48 A-wings. But I should point out that it was definitely not filled to capacity during this intense battle. While its complement did inflict some serious damage to Thrawn's fleet, it was Jun Sato's sacrifice of himself and his Quasar Fire-class nicknamed the Phoenix Nest that did the most damage when he plowed it into an Interdictor-class cruiser, allowing Ezra to make the jump through hyperspace. As the Rebellion grew, they captured several more of these carriers, but Rebel files show us that some engineers had noticed that this line of ships had some pretty dangerous issues with its structural integrity. When the ship reverted from hyperspace to real space, it made nearly imperceptible micro-fractures throughout the hull, which over time may have led to this ship blowing apart upon re-entry. We've talked before about the problems of ruling an empire by fear, is that the people who make up your military strength might one day turn against you, and so I wonder if employees at SoroSuub, or even the corporation itself, made their ship with some deficiencies built into them that would not be noticeable when they left the shipyard, but would hurt the empire slowly over time. And the last time we see this ship, it would be when Black Squadron destroyed a Quasar Fire during their capture of Kuat Drive Yards, following the Battle of Endor. So that's it for its history, but you definitely want to hear these cool facts and behind the scenes stuff. It's kind of so ironic that I wonder if it was done on purpose, but this is the slowest ship we have ever covered, and it is named after a quasar, which creates some of the fastest moving matter in the entire universe. Quasars are jets of particles that shoot away from black holes, with some being among the fastest things ever measured. And those Virgilian free alignment forces were brought back into canon via The Last Jedi, and the similar role of providing ships to the Resistance, with the Free Virgilia-class bunker buster, one of which was Holdo's ship, the Ninka. It first appeared in the novel The Truce Epicura, which was published in 1994, and then was first shown visually in the game Star Wars Rebellion. And this ship was recommended over at MetaNerdz.com. If you want to add your own, be sure to check out the info card or the description below. But most important of all, remember, proper turbo laser placement saves lives, and the Force will be with you. Always.